Hello, welcome. If you haven't already read the title, this will be an Outer Wilds challenge run. If you have not played Outer Wilds, this is a major spoiler warning. I will be going through basically all of the required story throughout the game of Outer Wilds. And this game is very unique in a way that spoilers can really ruin the entire experience of this game. So I highly encourage, if you haven't played the game, just click off this video, come back once you've played it. If you're not planning on playing it, well, change your mind. And if you don't want to change your mind, watch this video and click off when you have changed your mind. Other than that, those of you who have played this game, you're probably going to love this challenge. I really love this game. It's really changed my life quite a lot. And I really wanted to do some kind of content, and I really wanted to do a challenge run. I love challenge runs in Dark Souls and other Souls games, and so I wanted to see if I could do something here. The challenge for this video will be, I will only do things that my ship log tells me to do. So as you traverse the Outer Wilds system, you get updates in your ship log of things you found or rumors of places that you should go. And I will only be going places if my ship tells me to do that. Basically, the game intended way of playing the game, I guess. It's the way the developers probably wanted you to connect the dots. At least that's the way I came to see it as I played the game. But yeah, so anything in the ship log I will go and do. However, another rule on top of that, I will still interact with things that are in my path. So if I come across something while I'm on my route to a destination from the ship log, I will still interact with that thing. If I walk by some Know My Writing, even though my ship didn't tell me about it, I will still read that Know My Writing, for instance. So if something is straight up in front of me, I will still interact with it. But besides that, I won't be traveling anywhere unless my ship log has told me to go to that place. It is quite a fun challenge. I really highly recommend anybody who's played this game to try it out for themselves. But other than that, let's wake up again on a fresh run. So we begin staring up at the sky once again, sitting next to a campfire and another Hearthian. One thing I can't really remove from my knowledge is my skills at this game. You'll see a lot of those incoming. But for instance, my ability to make a perfect marshmallow on the very, very first try, don't worry about that cut I made in the video. My very first try on a marshmallow was perfect, so I can't really remove my skills from this game, but I'll try not to use them too much. Slate told me about the codes to go get from Hornfells. And first thing I run into is Micah standing next to the trail. They tell me to try out the model ship. First thing I do is try to get a hole-in-one and completely fail with my immense skills. And then I try something even better. I decide to fly this flying object into the tallest building in the city. And then I decide that was probably a bad idea, so I put that back and tell Micah not to tell anybody what I just did. I don't want anybody remembering that for a very long time. Anyways, many of the Hearthians have a lot to say. I talk to them all because they're in my path as I go around. Most of them don't give me any quests, however. I'll let you know if any of them give me some important quests. This Hearthian, for instance, tells me about the instruments they have made for all the Hearthians out there. And so they tell me to look out for their signals and listen for their sounds, and that'll come very useful in just a bit. Following this sign up to the observatory. These children actually do... children? Tadpoles? Probably tadpoles, I think is what they are. Anyways, they do give me a quest to go find them, and they actually let me use my scope for the first time. This Hearthian also tells me about Giant's Deep, one of the planets in the solar system. However, I don't think that actually gives me a ship log, so I won't actually use that information. But I'm able to finish my righteous quest in finding these children. That's a bad sentence. It's hide and seek. I'm basically a child as well. Anyways. Find the children, and then I continue my quest to go up to the observatory. On the way up, I see some a sign talking about ghost matter. I am very glad this sign is here. If I did not receive this knowledge, I would have died quite a lot, just brute forcing some areas. So it is very nice that that is right in the path there. Another thing that's right in the path is this 0G cave, and I get another quest from this Hearthian here to go and fix the satellite, or the digging machine. I think they call it a satellite. It's not an actual satellite. They're just trying to get you to fix their stuff for them. You see there, I also got the flashlight prompt. So I'm usually not using my tools unless I'm prompted to. I still use my flashlight quite often. Get ready for some of those skills. Watch this. Buoy. Oh, yeah, there we go. I am so skilled at doing this part. I've done it so many times at this point. And I fly right out of there. And I do return the suit like a good person. I actually have no idea what happens if you steal that suit. I report my successful quest done, and then continue back to the observatory. Now the museum has quite a few pieces. None of them give me ship logs, so I don't really care too much. There's this weird goat statue. I don't really like goats that much, but it's a pretty cool statue. I mean, goats are cool. I mean, I've got nothing against goats. I don't know why I said that, but you know, I'm a frog person. Frogs and goats, I don't know. There's this new exhibit, has nothing to do with anything. I stare at a purple rock for a little bit, and then I head back into the museum. I learn about these gravity crystals, which surprisingly comes in very, very handy a little bit later. I learn how to use my translating device, very useful. And I learn about this eye thing, or I guess that he wouldn't know it's an eye yet. Anyways, I learn about that picture, no idea what that is. Probably isn't very important. Figure out what the map is. I love this little zoom out. It's so cool. And the fact that the whole solar system is like still being simulated, and this is literally just a picture of the simulation. And we finally get the codes. Ready to go take our ship off. Heading back down. And something really weird happens. I don't know why I'm pretending like this is my first. I just like having fun pretending this is my first time playing the game, but of course I've seen this quite a few times. But this does not end up in my ship log, so I really don't care about this goat opening its eyes. I'm just gonna go make it to my ship and just forget that ever happened. I talked to Slate. I'm so bad at their names. So yeah, Slate. Talk to Slate, let him know I've done it. I've completed my quest, and it's off to see the stars. And here she is, my beauty, the ship log. So this will be our lifeline throughout this challenge. So this rumor mode is the most important. It shows those connections to areas we've heard about but haven't been to. And it will also be the information we've learned. I'll try to not memorize things and just go off of what this thing says. And it's kind of the developer's way of pointing you into the best place to go. And it's quite amazing. You'll see how it just connects so amazingly. Here's an example of the fabled skill I have in this game. What a beautiful landing. I have no idea how long this video is going to be, but you get used to those beautiful landings. And yeah, I parked like 2 feet away from Esker here. He probably pissed himself watching me come down. I don't know how I didn't land on him. He tells me about the North Pole. He tells me about the stuff up there because he likes listening to music. He's such a badass. He's just chilling there as I landed like 2 feet away from him. So, what a man. I gotta check my ship log just to make sure I indeed got somewhere else to go. So I am gonna avoid going through every single little thing I learned on every single little planet in this game. But I'll try to just go over the important things I learned. One important thing I learned on the moon is that Gabbro's harmonica is being detected on Timber Hearth. And so Slate was trying to figure out what that is. I also find this weird know my building. No idea what it's for. Who cares? It doesn't give me a ship log update as soon as I land, so it's probably not important. Do some reading, and there we get a ship log update. These scrolls are talking about the Southern Observatory on Brittle Hollow, which will get updated in my ship log shortly. Little do I know, this quest to go check out the Southern Observatory takes quite some time and quite some effort. It's pretty great. There's the ship log update. I say hi to Esker on my way out, because he's quite lonely up here. Nobody comes to visit him on the lonely old moon. So we got the moon checked out, and we've got a rumor on the signal from Timber Hearth. So I immediately go figure out what that's up. What that's up? I'm so good at talking. I don't have a script or anything. I'm just kind of talking while watching my own footage that I've already edited. It's a terrible way of doing it, I'm sure, but it's my first time like making a real video, so I have no idea what I'm doing. I might get better. I hope I'll get better. Subscribe, see if I get better. I dare you. My ship won't fit inside of that thing. I almost crushed another Hearthian with my ship, and so I jump out. And I immediately get a quest from this guy to shoot a scout into the seed. And I immediately fulfill that quest and tell him I have done it. And he doesn't seem too impressed, but he wonders where it's gone and why it's bigger on the inside. And so I decide I should better go grab my scout. It lands in some weird skeleton thing. And I really want my scout back, so I should go collect it. So I take off. I see that there is another scout signal, and I decide to go get my scout back. You know, what could be the danger? This is apparently called Dark Bramble or something. I'm just gonna let this part play out a little bit, because heckin' terrifying. Even if I'm pretending I don't know what's in here, it's still terrifying. So I immediately beeline it to my scout's location. And then, in this second seed, there's a bit of a problem while I whack my ship. And then there are 3 signals, which is quite the problem, and I have no information on how to get through this place. So literally, I just randomly picked one and flew straight at it, with no regard to anything else in here. I'm sure those lights in the distance are perfectly normal, and I get amazingly lucky and go straight to the place I was trying to get to on my very first attempt. I'm not even kidding. Those of you who may be watching this and haven't played the game are probably pretty confused. Those of you who have played the game are very impressed by my luck, and so am I. I go collect my scout, and there's some kind of dude out here just chilling. Hello. And so I decide to talk to them. Gabbro actually gives me a whole ton. Here, I ask him how he got underneath the core of Giant's Deep. I don't know how I know there's a core or how I know to get underneath it, but apparently I had that dialogue and I'm not going to question it. And he basically told me that I need to go check out a vine behind this skeleton where his ship crashed. And so, yep, there's the hollow vine, and I'm going to go check that hollow vine out. Which is information that seems extremely random if you come here the very first thing you do. Like, literally, all I've done is follow the devs' intended quote-unquote routes through this game, and the very first thing it had me do was, first of all, go to the moon, but then go to Dark Bramble, the scariest place in the game, and then find this, what you're about to see, the jellyfish, and find out that you can hide inside it, and it's protected from electricity inside there. You've never seen these things before. Why does this matter? I don't know. I guess it might be important at this state in the game. You have no idea. So little things like this make me really love this challenge because it's just amazing how the very first thing I did was come to Dark Bramble and somehow survived. I guess I was probably not meant to survive my first trip here, but I did, and they can't take that away from me. This run is one of the luckiest Outer Wild runs ever. You're gonna see, like, if this were my first playthrough, man, people would think it's fake. And I guess it kind of is fake because I do know what I'm doing, but also I'm trying not to. Anyway, okay, I'm rambling a lot. Anyways, I get back to my ship to see what my log tells me to do next. I live by the will of the log. And the only thing I have is the Southern Observatory on Brittle Hollow. So that's my next destination. I'm sure getting out of this place is going to be just as easy as getting into it. So I just nonchalantly fly right on out of here. I wonder where that skeleton came from. I wonder if there's any other living things in this place. I guess not, because I just kind of fly out of there. Nothing bothers me. I guess all those big fish skeleton things are dead because none of them attacked me. The sun's looking pretty mad when I get out. I'm not sure why that is, but I decide not to question it and go to the South Pole on Brittle Hollow. As I jump out, first thing I find is a recording from Rybeck, one of the astronauts. And I do get a ship log to go and find Rybeck. And so that is exactly what I'm going to do. Just gonna double check. Got a Rybeck location. And that's pretty much, I probably should have explored here a little more, but that's pretty much all the information you get from this location. Because you cannot get into the observatory right now. So the log said he was north of here, so I go north of here and I start looking for my boy. And I hear his banjo playing. And there he is. Okay, let me just park. Right? Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. Yep. Right. Right. Oh, wait. My ship's a little damaged. It should be fine. There's just a little bit of damage. And that's perfect. Perfect parking place. The trees are there as landing legs, you see. I thought my ship fell for a sec, but it's still up there. He was not very impressed by my landing, didn't have much to say about it, so I just started talking to him about what's on Brittle Hollow and get quite a few locations to go next. So I end my conversation with Rybeck, and I get my signal scope out to log him, and then I get back in my ship and ride over a black hole where I can fall to my death. Woo! That's fun. And we made it safely back. Gonna check the log. Got Rybeck, got the Hanging City. So I guess one place we can go is the Hanging City. And this is kind of the challenging part of the run right here. Or actually, this is kind of where the challenge starts to go down, because the Hanging City actually has quite a few different ship logs, and so it starts to branch out quite extensively right here. Here I learn about the Ash Twin project, about the vessel, about the vessel's core, how it is a black hole and a white hole core generator thing. And then I need one for the Ash Twin project. No idea what both of those are, but apparently I need a warp core. So I get quite a few very important discoveries on these three walls right here. These are probably, honestly, some of the most important walls in the entire game. These three right here. So that's pretty sweet. And you can probably hear the sound of the sun in the background, the sun music. If you played this game before, it's probably traumatizing. This was a crazy first run, or first day, first cycle. If you don't know what's about to happen, you're probably pretty confused, but for those of you who do know what's happening, holy cow, like this was an amazing first run. I went to Feldspar and I keep messing up their names. The one in Dark Bramble, and I didn't die, and I didn't even know about the dangers, and like it's pretty amazing. There's the red sun getting all angry at me. And I do see these ruins over here, and I try real fast to collect some information. Just read it. Just read it. You don't have to read it. Just as long as you get the ship log. Get the ship log. Get the ship log. You can read it later. This is probably pretty relatable to people who finish the game. I love seeing the sun explode. It's so much fun. And that was the first run. Good stuff. Anyways, on to the next day. Wake up alive somehow, back where we started, and I just make my way back to the Brittle Hollow. And right as I get back to Brittle Hollow, something in my path is this escape pod with this distress beacon right here, which is probably going to be pretty dang important, actually. Look at the skills. I don't learn a lot from the escape pod here, besides the fact that there are other escape pods. There are 3 of them. Then we get this door opening. This is one of my favorite moments in the game. I remember when I first played this. This was my first introduction to the black hole down there, and that is such a cool little view when you shoot that door off. Although, how did they get out of the pod? I guess they got out the top door and then walked down around the side. I guess that makes sense. Anyways, I find this little temporary Nomai village that they built, and I find quite a few things in here. I found a mural to this weird looking eye thing. I find these other murals depicting the vessel. All 3 of those were ship logs. So I'm getting more and more information about where the vessel is, and definitely in Dark Bramble. So I walk along the roof, take a moment to realize I'm walking upside down above a black hole while pieces of the planet are falling into the middle of it. I find the black hole forge. I turn the controls. Not sure what that's about, but I get a ship log update for it, so worth it. All for the ship log. Several of these sappy no-mind stories are not a ship log, so who really cares what even they're saying? So I'm just gonna skip through all that. Although, look at this sick parkour. That's way better than no-my writings. Just kidding. I am just kidding. I love this game. I love the writing. I love all the individual no-my characters. I love that you can actually listen to their stories and put them together. I just kind of followed the path all through the Hanging City, reading just about everything I came across. I came to the top of this pillar, found a rock, and then while I was reading this, the rock I was on started to fall down into the black hole. Yay! Surprise, you didn't die. Or maybe you did. Something came out immediately after me. I think it was the tower just trying to kill me. Anyways, we find the White Hole Station, and this is our first time using one of these doors. Gotta love these doors. And one of the main things, actually very important information we learn here, is that there are warp towers on some planets, and to warp you have to be pointed at the center of the mass of the other planet you're warping to. And so that is how these warp towers and warp pads work. Oh yeah, here we also learn about the high energy lab on Ember Twin, which will be pretty important later on. And we get a view of the high energy lab on the Ember Twin. And I'm always concerned that these cactuses are gonna poke me, but so I guess that would probably be a pretty good next location to make our way to once I'm done with this area here. Oh yeah, watch this heckin' sweet parkour. No fear. Who cares about black holes, I guess. And nail it, for real. That deserves a like right there. Just kidding, that was pretty easy. And look at all of these beautiful ship logs. So many beautiful ones. Oh yeah, the Southern Observatory. I was very, very, very determined to get there, and I didn't really have a way to get there. So I just kind of shoved my ship right up as close as I could to the entryway. Because this is the South Pole, I know that for sure. And for a moment, I think I get my ship stuck, but I went too soon. I got out of my ship before I should have, and I fall into the black hole. My ship actually gets stuck after I fall. And it's probably a good thing I didn't get in there with only a couple seconds left on the day. But anyways, here comes the end, my friend. Oh, I love seeing that. The star, our star blowing up. Oh, and the sound design in this game. Oh, I love this game. If you haven't been convinced to play this game yet, how? Why? Just play it. If you have played it again, try this challenge. It's so much fun. But here goes another one. And here we go again, back to Brittle Hollow. I find an entryway next to this weird looking structure over here. I don't think I ever figured out what it was. And look at this landing. I like that. I didn't feel fast at all, but like everything broke, even the reactor. Which, if you didn't know, if you don't fix the reactor when it breaks like that, your ship will just explode, which is pretty hilarious. You can get it to explode in pretty funny places. But anyways, I finally make it to the South Pole in the intended direction. I use those little warp pads. They're pretty obvious. They're just right next to this whole ice shelf. And I finally make it to the Southern Observatory, a mission I got like way near the beginning of the game. Anyways, kind of skipping through here. I learned quite a few things. Probably the most important thing is that these tornadoes, there are two different types of tornadoes. I don't think I've even been to Giants. Have I been to Giants? I don't remember. I don't think I've even been there, so I don't know the difference that there were even two different tornadoes. But now I know. And I also see the orbital probe station building place where they build stuff. So that's the place I shall go to next. I also learned a little bit more about the eye, and at this point I kind of just read through just about everything really, really fast, and just because all I really care about is what my ship log says, so I just kind of skip through everything. I should be reading them, but I don't know, I felt like I should be going faster. Don't want this to be too long of a video. And so it's time for Giants Deep. I believe this is our first entry. If you didn't know, you can just go as fast as you want in Giants Deep. For those who don't know, that's probably pretty terrifying to see. And I find the one unique tornado. And we find the core of Giants Deep. And now I'm kind of questioning myself because I do have the information about the jellyfish, and I have a location for the middle of Giants Deep. And so I kind of looked over my discoveries and decided, yeah, I had enough information to do this. Go inside the jellyfish and go into the center of Giants Deep. And did you know that you can stand on the side of the jellyfish right here? I had no idea. I was very impressed by myself finding it. It's actually pretty nice because you don't need to worry about flying. You can just stand on the jellyfish. But anyways, we make it into the core. Who knows what's down here? I have no idea. Oh look, a structure of some kind. I wonder how that got here. I don't know. I may have found this not out of order technically. Actually, this is all developer approved ways of finding this stuff. I am doing nothing outside the bounds that the game has set. But anyways, I learned quite a few things. Not all of them are useful except for this right here. Some kind of code. No idea what it's for, but it's probably pretty important. It's for the Eye of the Universe. I think that's a thing. I keep hearing about it, but I don't have a quest to go see it yet, so who cares? Oh, I hate these doors. Oh, I forgot I sped this part up. And going back to the surface. That kind of jump scared me. I forgot that I had actually sped this up. It also sounds really weird. Anyways, can you tell I'm just kind of recording this audio live after editing? I edited everything, and then I'm recording the voiceover afterwards. So it's kind of an interesting way of doing it. So, Orbital Probe Cannon. I feel like that's the next best place to go. And would you look at that? The luck of this run shines its head once again. As literally as I come out of the clouds, it was right in front of me, which is pretty crazy. The luck in this run is really amazing. Like, I've never had a run this good. But anyways, down into the probe cannon. I honestly don't learn too much here. I just learn a little bit more about the Ash Twin project, and I finally get a view of it right there, which I guess is very useful information. I believe that does get logged in my ship log. And I try to go see the other part of the station, but I accidentally fall back into Jupiter, or Giant Steep, as the sun is exploding. Kind of spooked me out. I was like, whoa, what did I crash into? And then I remembered Giant Steep was behind me, so that was pretty fun. And then I zoom right into the sun. I love the effect of the exploding star. It's so cool. I love space. Space is so cool. Oh, I don't know if that's copyrighted. I probably shouldn't sing that. Anyways, make it back to the probe cannon. I actually don't really learn a lot here, but what take? Oh yeah, that's why I kept this in. The mandatory forgetting your spacesuit and dying in space. Gotta love it. So many people, pretty much everybody I've seen plays this game at some point or another forgets their spacesuit. Even me, who's played through this game quite a few times, I forgot my spacesuit, so I don't feel bad about it. On the construction site, I also don't find too much of interest here. I do get flung into the air, or flung into space, while I'm finding this place, or figuring this place out. Hopefully I'm doing good at the voiceover as well. I have no script. I'm just kind of talking while watching my own video. So this is my first like legit video. I have a few other videos on this channel, but this is my first like legit one. So if you like it, give me a like. I don't know. I don't know. This might get like, I don't know, 100 people to watch it. And if that happens, then great. I don't know if I'll make too many more videos, but this one should be fun. Anyways, gotta catch up. So I made it to the Ember Twin. I went to the place that I had on my map. That was the High Energy Lab. And right next to the High Energy Lab is a path down to the Sunless City. And luckily for me, right back there, that first thing I read on the wall was the path to the Sunless City. So that was kind of useful for my rule set, since I'm only going for what's right in front of me, and the thing right in front of me was the path to the city, so that was very useful. The anglerfish fossil, sending stuff down there. I have no idea what to do with that yet, so I can't go and discover that. I also love the claustrophobia. I came here pretty late, and the sand is getting really high already. So yeah, I'm about to die. Oh, one very important thing. I find the shortcut into the Sunless City. Technically, there is no ship log for that. I double checked, but I'm still gonna use it just because it's just a time saver, I guess. And so I decide I need to check out more of the Sunless City. So let's go ahead and reset the loop in the best way possible. It's very efficient. and back at it. Ooh. Beautiful flying. Hey, all the important systems are still online. Who needs autopilot? Not me. I find the high energy lab and I turn on its lights and find that is the door for the high energy lab. Let's go. If you get ready for some claustrophobia, this part always is very claustrophobic. You have to wait for the sand to rise, and then in this next tunnel it gets so tight. There's like a dead end right here, so you have to turn around. You're not quite sure where to go, and so you start panic a little bit. Then I remembered, oh yeah, you gotta get over those cactuses. Anyways, made it to the high energy lab. And there are some very useful ship logs in this place. I do find these little black hole and white holes, learn how those work. I think about taking out the white hole when I shoot my scout, but I decide not to. There are the murals of the towers. Probably one of the most important things I learn in that place is about those murals, because that tells me how to get into the Ash Twin project. And I finally have a prompt to go to the Ash Twin project. Another thing I find in here is the anglerfish information. I find out how to get to the skeleton. Yeah, I'm great at this. And so I will be doing that next. I think I do. Oh yeah, I have to reset the sand. So time for another tactical. What's the right thing to say now? Unalive. Yeah, a tactical unalive. That's YouTube. I don't even have sponsors on this video, so I don't even care. But yeah, there we go. Back at it again. And I find the information for the anglerfish. Awesome. And so let's head right there. Although I haven't even seen an anglerfish at this point. I've only ever seen their skeletons. So I'm not sure why I need information from the skeleton, but I feel like I need it. Obviously, there's plenty of paths I probably could have taken at this point, because obviously on my ship log there's several different paths I could have taken, which I could have done, but also I didn't want this video to be several hours. Right now it's like 50 minutes long already, so sorry if I kind of go for the correct path here. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. The last thing I found was talking about this place, and so I go here. And I learned that the anglerfish are blind. And so the best way to make it through the dark bramble is by going stealthily, silently, so that they can't hear you. Next thing is the Ash Twin, and the very first thing I see when I get to Ash Twin is this giant sun pillar poking out of the ground, which is pretty convenient. I wait for the sand for a little bit and make my way inside. This part always sucks. If you don't know, this is the best way to do it. Just wait for the sand to cover most of the cactuses. If there's no sand in here, it's terrible, and I don't even know if it's possible to make it through here without dying from all the cactuses. And so, I make it to the sun station. And I did have a ship log for this. I forgot where I got it. Oh yeah, it was on Brill Hollow. They were talking about blowing up the sun. And so I can come here and look at that. That's one of my favorite door opens. I love all the door opens, all the Nomai doors, but that one's my favorite. And watch the skills. Oh yeah. So I learned that they failed to blow up the sun. The sun is dying simply because it's the end of its life cycle. And I guess more importantly, I also learned about the Ash Twin project and what it looks like on the inside. And so that is my next location to get. I fly back. Look at the skills. Bam. That's hard. Like, it looks easy. I make this look easy. I make this game look super easy, but it's not. It's a difficult game. So go try it if you haven't tried it yet. Speaking of which, extreme spoilers coming up for this next part. If you haven't played the game, please go away right now. So I'm checking out the next set of towers. Obviously, it's the Ash Twin Towers. And this one is the Ember Twin side. So I go check that out, but there's not much to find on this one. But the Ash Twin side, or did I say Ash Twin or Ember? So this is the Ash Twin, that was the Ember Twin side, is very important and very difficult to get inside. And so I was really questioning if I did have the information to be able to do it. I have the designs for the towers on the murals. I've got Ash Twin Project as a question mark. I've got the Black Hole Forge telling me I need to go in there to get to the warp core. So yeah, I decide I do have the information to get in there. Although I do the mandatory get sucked up by Ember Twin before you actually can make it in there. As everybody who plays figures that out. And so I figure out the little closet, and there is, oh, and I almost mess up getting into the portal by lifting off for some reason. And there's no ship log for that little closet, but I decided it was something that was right in front of me. And so according to my rules of looking at things that are right in front of me, I decided that closet counted. And I made it inside the Ash Twin Project. All of these didn't actually give me too many ship logs, to be honest. Most of these were just things that I had already read on different planets, or things that didn't really give me any new information. But all the stuff in here kind of just breaks down the Nomai's entire plan to get to the eye of the universe. I guess there was kind of one thing in here that was kind of important. The motivation behind all of this is to get to the eye of the universe, and it's pretty plainly stated in here. And so that is kind of my new quest to get to the eye. And here is the warp core. I take it out by instinct, and then the music goes quiet. Everything goes quiet. Everything stops spinning. It kind of gets a little creepy. This game is creepy even after you played a bunch. That's why the DLC is so good. So I kind of frantically put it back in. I'm not ready for this for this responsibility. I still have to find more stuff. So I put it back in. And I teleport back to my ship. And I believe the last thing I need to do is go find the vessel. I do also do a little more exploring on the Ash Twin. I go to the Hearth teleporter, back home once again. I make it all the way down into the mines, and I have an idea. My idea there was the rock in the mines was used to protect the Ash Twin. I thought it might be able to protect me in there, but nah. And so now I have to go find the vessel. And here it is, the vessel. So I make my way to Dark Bramble. I have the information about the escape pods, about the distress beacons, and so I have enough information to find escape pod 3. And for those of you who know, we're in for quite the story here. The sad story of escape pod 3. So, I get out, start to investigate what happened here. And I learn that the survivors of this escape pod were trapped here in Dark Bramble, surrounded by anglerfish, and tried desperately to get back to their vessel. Unfortunately, they were led to somewhere else. So yeah, just make sure right here that I do in fact have the quest, I guess, to go find the survivors, and here they are. And this moment when you first find it is so impactful. The music is just so good in this game. I listen to it all the time, and it's so good that they don't have it always there. It's just every once in a while, the music just hits. And so I shoot my scout into there, and it finds the vessel. I say goodbye to the lost survivors. So on my way to the vessel, we find the nest of the anglerfish. And you might have noticed right as I entered the wormhole, or the whatever it's called, my engines were going for a split second. So I think they turned slightly, and that's why the bulb kind of went clipped through my ship there. I hide next to my ship log. They can't get me, they can't get my ship log. We're okay, dear ship log. We become best friends over this journey. It's been a crazy long journey. This is like definitely the longest video I've ever made. I never expected to make an hour-long video, but it's been pretty fun. Pretty easy too, like time just has flown. Anyways, I go and collect my scout, and there just so happens to be a giant vessel attached to it. So I guess I'll decide to go inside and check out what this vessel has to offer. I find the spot where the warp core needs to go right there, and I find a bunch of juicy lore. However, pretty much none of it actually gives you a ship log. Well, I think it does give you a ship log, but not to a location or anything that's part of the puzzle. So I just go back to my dear ship log to tell it what I had found. I believe that is the last thing that I explore. This is it. This is the filled out ship log here. And I just make sure I've got the information to get to the eye of the universe, to input the coordinates. Keep reading the stuff. And basically all that is left is to do it. To take the warp core and to make it to the eye of the universe. Now, I checked this. I was double checking. There is never... Oh yeah, the quantum moon appears right in front of me. Woo! There's never a direct link to the eye of the universe. It never pops up on the ship log. But basically every nomai... Oh yeah, this is my favorite way to die. Did you know this existed? There's an eject button on the cockpit. That's pretty great. Anyways, what I was saying, there's never, the Eye of the Universe never pops up on the ship log, but basically every nomai text I've ever read has told me to go there, so that is the quest I received. I make one last perfect marshmallow before I take a nap, because obviously that's what you do at the end of the universe. And I make it to the Ashton project once again. And I'm kind of just gonna skip through what happens here, get the warp core, all this stuff, because none of this is new to my ship log. My ship log knows everything already, everything it needs to know. So yeah, just make it a dark bramble flawlessly right there, beautiful. That's how you're supposed to do it. It's the speedrunner route. Make it past the anglerfish one more time. Oh, right here, there's a camping anglerfish right next to the eggs. So I almost died there. I make it to the ship, and I say goodbye to my ship log for the very last time. She's beautiful. Look at her. We've gone through a lot together. Good girl. Anyways, I say goodbye to my beautiful ship log and my exploding ship, and I make it into a bigger vessel. But this one is not as good as my little ship, because it does not have a log to input. So I input the coordinates for the Eye of the Universe, and I warp there. Woo! To finish off the luck run, I actually have the quantum moon orbiting the Eye of the Universe. I don't see that. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Maybe I have, but I don't remember. But that's pretty cool. But either way, this is pretty much the end of the challenge. Nothing else. Everything else is just pretty straightforward. So let's go. The Eye of the Universe. And I did see that satellite from the DLC. Maybe I'll do a DLC run if I get like, I don't know, 100 likes on this video. I know that's really hard. Actually, I probably am going to do it anyways. So I jump into the eye, I look at the cosmic trees, I get in the museum, see the creepy goat face. I make fun of the anglerfish for never being able to kill me. And then I make my way up to the top of the observatory. And here I observe. Whoa. I destroy a universe, and then I destroy a universe that looks like Milky Way and Andromeda, so that was pretty fun. I destroy several more universes in this forest, and then I find a campfire. I find a banjo to play for some reason. I'm gathering the band. I do not get jump scared by this guy. If you turn off your light, he just kind of goes away, which is pretty great. Grab the harmonica, grab the oboe or the clarinet. I don't even know. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Grab the drum set. I believe I have my band. This isn't everyone, but it's everyone that I grabbed. Actually, I kind of realized most of these people I didn't even talk to. And that is basically the end of the run. It really was fantastic. I highly encourage anybody to go do the same. Just follow the ship log. Don't let yourself go explore. I mean, you can go explore if you want to, if that's more fun. But I've explored basically everything, so just going by the ship log really changed things. So I highly encourage you to do the same. But yeah, it was a very fun run. Challenge complete, technically. And let's make a new universe. So yeah, thank you for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end here. Maybe I'll make more on this channel, who knows. So, thank you for watching.